Food for thought. Unconditional love is just an excuse for accepting mediocrity. Does it really build character? Or just enable bad habits? Well, in this next heartwarming story, a father faces a plate of burnt toast. And instead of complaining, his quiet act of grace teaches his child a powerful lesson about empathy, understanding, and unconditional love. Sometimes the most profound wisdom isn't found in the grand speeches, but in the small, simple, everyday moments. Discover how a dad's quiet action over some burnt toast holds the key to lasting relationships and how to untap your potential. Welcome to Untapping Your Potential, where we will share with you motivational stories, motivational figures, comeback stories, and public speaking tips that will keep you growing and inspire you to take action. Angela was 8 or 9, a bright-eyed girl living with her parents, Courtney and Shane, in their cozy home. The aroma of dinner usually filled their small home around 6 in the evening. A comfortable blend of garlic onions and whatever Courtney had conjured up after a grueling day at work. But a different smell hung in the air this particular night. It was the unmistakable scent of something burning. Now, Shane was a man whose patience seemed as boundless as the sky. He sat at their small, worn wooden table, and Courtney's face was etched with the weariness of a long shift. Should she place their plates down in a hurry? When Courtney set a plate of food in front of Shane, Angela's eyes widened. It was a bit too much on the brown side, shimmering faintly under the dim kitchen light, topped with a dollop of bright red jam that looked almost comical against the charcoal canvas burnt toast. Angela sat there and silently observed the unfolding drama. Her fork hovered over her own food, forgotten. A tiny bit of her braced for the inevitable reaction. Would Shane grimace? Would he make a joke? Would he gently send it back? Sweetie, this might be a tad overdone. The air crackled with the unspoken anticipation. She has never seen her dad get mad, except that one time his favorite F1 racer didn't win the season. But even then, he was probably not angry, but only a bit disappointed. Shane simply picked up his fork. He spread the jam across the blackened surface, a stark red smear against the dark. And then he took a bite. He chewed slowly, deliberately, and a faint smile playing on his lips. He completely swallowed the burnt toast. And Angela just sat there as her face cringed. And Shane looked at Angela and asked, "Angela," he said calmly, and even asked, "Did you finish that project for school today? How was your day?" Angela stammered out a reply. She vividly recalled the undercurrent of surprise and relief in the room when discussing her group's art project. Later, Angela heard Courtney's soft voice, laced with apology. "Shane, honey, I am so sorry about the toast. My mind was just everywhere tonight. I didn't even notice." And Shane's response, delivered with such gentle sincerity, resonated through the tiny house. "Sweetie," he said, his voice warm and reassuring, "I love the toast." The next thing Angela knew, the evening had moved on. Dinner was finished. The mystery lingered in her young mind as she saw her dad's plate being carried towards the sink. And then later that night, the familiar ritual of bedtime arrived. Angela padded into her small bedroom, and the floorboards creaking softly under her bare feet. "Good night, Papa," she whispered, reaching to hug him. A question bubbled up as she lingered, which had been nagging her all evening. Shane was about to leave until he heard his daughter whisper loudly, "Papa, Papa," Angela repeated hesitantly, looking up at his kind face when he turned back. Did you really like that burnt toast?" He settled his arm around her small shoulders, his gaze soft and understanding. "Angela, baby," he said quietly, his voice a low rumble as he sat on her bed. "Your mama put in a very long day at work today. You saw how tired she was when she got home. Her hands were aching and her eyes looked heavy. Making dinner for us was probably the last thing she felt like doing. But she did it anyway, because she loves us." He paused, looking down at her with a gentle seriousness. "And besides," he continued, a small smile touching the lips. A burnt toast never hurts anyone. You know what does hurt, though? Harsh words, a sharp tone, making someone you love feel bad, especially when they're already having a tough time. He then pulled her a little closer, his arm a comforting weight. You know, Angela, life is full of imperfect things, and even more imperfect people. Your mama isn't perfect, and neither am I. I am not the best at anything, you know. I sometimes forget birthdays and anniversaries slip my mind like every other human. We all have our little quirks and our big mistakes. Would you get mad at me if I accidentally ordered a burger with pickles, even though you told me not to? Angela giggled and answered, I wouldn't be that mad, but no pickles, please. See? Shane nodded. He looked thoughtful for a moment, his eyes holding a deep wisdom. What I've learned over the years, Pumpkin, is that learning to accept each other's faults, those little burnt toasts in life, and choosing to celebrate each other's differences, the things that make us unique, is one of the most important keys for creating a healthy, growing, and lasting relationship. Whether it's with your mama or with your friends, or even later on, with someone you love very much. He squeezed her gently. Life is too short to wake up with regrets, Angela. It's too short to hold on to little things that don't really matter. Love the people who treat you right, and show your kindness. And try to have compassion for the ones who don't always get it right, because sometimes they're just trying their best, even if their toast ends up a little crispy. Kindness is loaning someone your strength instead of reminding them of their weakness. Just like Shane taught Angela, this whole situation isn't about liking burnt toast or wanting to eat pickles on your burger, but how does this story apply to you in real life? Number 1, respond with grace, not ego. When someone makes a mistake, pause and ask yourself, do I want to be right or kind? Your reaction in that moment can become a powerful memory for someone else, lasting a lifetime. Number 2, normalize imperfections in relationships. Love isn't about perfection. It's about understanding. Understanding helps you remember that everyone has moments where they mess up. It shows that you value the person more than the mistake itself. Love is not just in grand gestures, but in how we handle the little imperfections. And number 3, be a living example for children or others watching. Remember, you teach most when you say least, by how you live and not just what you say. Children close their ears to advice, but open their eyes to examples. Think, act wise before it's too late. Laxmi Patel, author of The Guardian of Agents, a practical guide for joyful parenting. Thanks for watching this video. How would you like to hear more motivational stories consistently? Do me a favor and support the channel by sharing and commenting below. And please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button to get the latest update. Soon, you will be on your way to feeling inspired.